Professor.
Yes, Tokyo.
What are we robbing?
The Royal Mint of Spain.
Money Heist. Biggest unanswered questions Season 5 need to answer.
Oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Mi sono usato e ho trovato l'invasore. Terra!
The gang and the professor were left in a dangerous position at the end of Money Heist Season 4. Here are the questions Season 5 needs to answer. Money Heist Season 4 ends in a precarious place for the professor and the gang, and leaves plenty of unanswered questions for Season 5. While fans might have assumed that Season 4 would wrap up with the Bank of Spain heist, the gang are still hauled up by the time the credits roll on the finale, and they don't seem to be in any hurry to leave. Much of Money Heist Season 4 was spent dealing with the fallout of Season 3's cliffhanger ending, in which Nairobi was shot by a sniper.
Permiso para disparar.
Hijo, dispara. ¡Pero qué importa!
The gang was able to nurse her back to health, just in time for her to be murdered in cold blood by the bank's chief of security, Gandia. Meanwhile, on the outside, the professor orchestrated a daring jailbreak for Lisbon that ended with the police unwittingly allowing her to join her friends via the military helicopter drop. It's been a dizzying series of triumphs and tragedies that has currently left the professor and the gang on top of the scoreboard after exposing the crimes of Alicia, Sarah, and other high-ranking officials to the world. There's still the matter of escaping the Bank of Spain with 90 tons of gold and somehow invading capture to be dealt with. However, can they pull it off? Here are the biggest unanswered questions that Money Heist Season 5 need to answer. 1. What does Alicia Sarah plan to do with the professor? Just after celebrating the victory of Lisbon joining the group, the professor had his lair discovered by Alicia Sarah. Once the police inspector in charge of negotiations for the Bank of Spain heist, Alicia is now a woman on the run with a warrant out for her arrest over the torture of Rio, the attempted murder of Nairobi, and the unlawful holding of Lisbon. Given that the professor is responsible for exposing her crimes, it might be assumed that she intends to either kill him out of revenge or bring him to the police in the hopes of reducing her own sentence. But a smart woman like Alicia probably has something better planned than murder or surrender, and she may actually have decided it's in her best interest to join the heist, whether the professor likes it or not. 2. How will the gang escape the Bank of Spain? The biggest money heist mystery that has been deliberately left unanswered so far: how are a gang of Interpol's most wanted criminals planning to get themselves out of the Bank of Spain, along with 90 tons of gold, when the building is completely surrounded by police and military forces? They haven't been digging a tunnel like last time, and probably wouldn't try the same trick twice anyway. The only clue we have is that the gold is absolutely crucial to their escape. Could the professor be planning to enlist more outside help, maybe offering some of the gold as payment? Perhaps the gold is even a complete misdirect after all. The real goal of the heist was to free Rio, and even after dropping millions of euros over Madrid, the gang still has plenty of their near €1 billion haul from the last heist left over. Will the gold be sacrificed to help them escape, or will they somehow get away with both their lives and the loot? 3. Who will take over police negotiations? With Alicia gone, there's an empty chair at the negotiating table in the police tent. The negotiator plays a pivotal role in Money Heist dance. First, the Raquel Murillo, aka Lisbon's complicated cat and mouse chase with the professor in Season 1 and 2, and then with Alicia's merciless and rule-breaking tactics in Season 3 and 4. Colonel Tamayo would potentially step in, but his short fuse is a poor fit for negotiating and he's reeling from the shock of the helicopter trick. Angel was smart enough to identify Salva as the professor in season 1 and 2, but he's more of a follower than a leader. Money Heist season 5 may well bring in a brand new character, untouched by the scandals of Rio's torture and Lisbon's arrest, to take over negotiations for the police.
Divertidos intentando follarse una embarazada.
Yo soy más de ir conociendo a la persona. ¿Sabes? No me voy con el primer gafapasta que pasa por ahí, me da su teléfono y me dice, guapa, ¿por qué no te vienes a mi almacén a probar mi sidra?
4. Will there be justice for Nairobi? Easily the most shocking and controversial moment for Money Heist Season 4 was the sudden death of Nairobi, a fan-favorite character whose focus on the job has been a grounding element in a show full of hotheads, loose cannons, and big egos. Nairobi had a son that had been taken away from her, and was planning to have a second child and start a new life for herself after the heist, making her death all the more tragic. The villain's responsible is Gandia, the nigh unstoppable former Black Ops soldier turned security chief, who is currently held captive by the gang. They will face a moral quandary in Money Heist Season 5, with Gandia at their mercy. Killing him would go against their code of ethics and the professor's rules. But with the police unlikely to hold Gandia accountable for killing a robber in a hostage situation, how else can the gang ensure that justice is served to Nairobi's murder?
Hey, bud. I told you I was gonna kill you.
5. What are Marseille's and Bogotá's real name? The professor told the gang to use city names from the start so that they wouldn't know each other's real identities, but the plan has since fallen apart. The name of every member of the original crew has now been revealed, and the two characters whose name we don't know are the new additions for the Bank of Spain heist, Marseille's and Bogotá. They haven't received as much character development as their colleagues. For much of the Money Heist Season 3 and 4, Marseille's main role was to ferry around two old cell phones that connect the professor to the police, but that can be expected to change in Season 5. As we learn more about them, perhaps we'll learn their real names as well.
Just like everyone else. Dressed in red with the face of Dali.
Good. Good. She won't betray us.
Everyone could betray me.
6. What happened to Sofia? And finally, the most important unanswered question of them all. What happened to Sofia? Marseille's pet ferret, Sofia's role was to act as a decoy, using Rio's GPS tracker to make it look like the gang were escaping into the sewers. The last time we saw her, Sofia was facing down a squad of officers in the sewers, even wearing a tiny red jumpsuit to identify her as a member of the gang. Presumably, she was taken into police custody and is now being treated as evidence. But it's unlikely that the animal lover like Marseille would be willing to leave her pet in the hands of the enemy. Hopefully in Money Heist Season 5, we'll see a small-scale version of Lisbon's jailbreak executed for Sofia. 7. Will Berlin return back to the Money Heist Season 5? One of the most frequently asked questions is, will Berlin return back in Season 5? Pedro Alonso played the role of an ill jewel thief in Money Heist. He was seen as the professor's second in command, and his brother. He had sacrificed himself for the gang in Season 2 and was seen in flashback episodes in Season 3. So the question still remains unanswered, if Berlin will be seen in Money Heist's finale.
¿Os rotaréis en vuestra tarea sin descanso? Y si no, un castigo épico os espera.
8. Will Arturo Roman die in the next season? One of the most asked questions regarding Money Heist Season 5 is if Arturo Roman will die the next season. Arturo's character is played by actor Enrique Arce. Arturo Roman is seen as a hostage in Season 1 and Season 2, and in Season 3 he returns to be a hostage on the show.
You have 2 seconds left. Put the fucking gun on the floor. And pray it's not true you raped Amanda.
You're really getting on my nerves, honey. I'm almost running out of patience here.
One.
So if you don't...
9. What's the status of the gold? A common note shared this season is that we viewers forgot about the gold. This is a heist after all, but where are they in terms of melting and preparing their loot for transport? This detail will undoubtedly affect the team's ability to get out of the bank together and alive. Number 10. Is Season 5 the last season of the show? This has to be one of the most asked questions of all time, and we think it might be. One of the cast members did mention that fans will be able to see the end of the show, and it does sound like this is the last heist of the gang. No matter what happens in the Season 5, we trust that we will be in for a grand finish as the series has been a back-to-back hit. Do you have any other unanswered questions? Please let us know using the comments. Let's discuss. Thanks for watching and see you next time.
It's just a matter of... What the hell? You hit me. Weren't we finished?
We were? I didn't know.